Hi friends, it's Becky, and I got my Arctic Aurora companion bundle delivered to me from Bead Box Bargains yesterday, but it was pretty late at night and we had a live to do, so I didn't unbox it or organize it or anything then, but I am ready to do that with you now today. So I did actually order a few extra things from Bead Box Bargains that came with it. What we'll do is I will open this up. I'll show you all of the things, sort of like a little mini haul that I purchased separately, and then we'll go through the companion bundle and we'll add some chapters to this. So if you want to skip past the haul part and get right to the companion bundle, which I do not blame you if you want to do, then we can do that. After I'm done organizing it in my little 15 grid organizer, which is how I like to organize my monthly bead boxes and companion bundles, I'm going to do a little design on the fly with something. We're doing it with everything that we open, no matter what it is this month. So it's settle in, grab a drink. It's probably going to be a long one. Let's open this up. See what my freebie was. They often will give you, well, it's pretty much every order. You get a little freebie attached to this little card, and sometimes it's a little finding, sometimes it's some beads, and this time it is some of this star chain. I love this star chain. The star chain came in our Bargain Bead Box this month, the Arctic Aurora Bargain Bead Box, and the companion bundle is the companion to that. So it's just things from their site that they thought would be great to go with it. So I have even more star chain than I imagined. Look, I've got so much of it. I've got this length, these are odd lengths. So it's not a consistent amount, and that's probably why they decided to give it out as a freebie. It's because with these shorter lengths, they couldn't, list it for sale. But I have so many lengths of the star chain, and if you are not familiar with our channel, my sister beads with me and she's visiting me this week, and I imagine that sitting there she's going to take a look at all of these lengths of this star chain. I'm holding it up for her, and she's going to want to steal some of this and take it home with her. So since one of the things that I purchased was more of this star chain, I'm just going to set aside about 4 of these. Let's do I'm just going to grab the 2 longest ones for me. No, or not. Maybe we'll do a couple of short ones. I don't know. We'll divide it up. We'll split it up a little more evenly. So we got 3 shorter ones and 2 long ones. I'm going to let her choose which one she wants. But we'll do that later. But this was my little freebie. I didn't have to pay for that. I am really excited that I got that bonus extra star chain. This is the Arctic Aurora companion bundle, and again, these are items from the sister store, Bead Box Bargains, that they put together into the companion bundle at a very discounted price, and they are very limited in quantity, so they sell out really quickly when they do list them for sale. Hopefully some of my friends got the email before they sold out. And then these were just some items that they had in their shop that I wanted to purchase some of, like these little heart beads. I'm into the hearts. But then we have some little star beads, and then I had to get the alien beads. These are super cute and definitely worth getting. But there was also this little moth pendant with the rainbow iris. So let me just go over these real quick, each of them one by one. But yeah, we had more of the star chain that I had actually purchased, but where is it? Did I 18 inches of star chain. Is it underneath stuff? I know I saw it in my bag. There it is. 18 inches of the star chain. And again, it's got the number 22 because it was in the original Bargain Bead Box for this month. So I got some more of this. And it is a longer length than any of the ones that I had gotten in my little freebie. So we can add that. I'll put that away later. And then we've got some pressed glass hearts, and I'm just realizing that there it is. We're gonna need this for an unboxing. It's my little ladybug dish. So this one, there are several pressed glass hearts that I got. The 7713, I got 2 orders of this. They are the 12 millimeter crystal AB pressed glass hearts, and they are super pretty, kind of colorful. I love these hearts, so I thought I would grab a couple of them. You can see some of them have more AB coating than not. Some of them have it, it's usually just going to be on one side. So if you've got a bunch of the coating on one side, when you flip it over, it kind of does like a little backlight thing. It's really cool with these. It is 7713 as the number. It's CZ 7713. You can search for that on the site if you're looking for something specific on the Bead Box Bargains site. And then we had some crystal ones that they don't have the AB finish. Sometimes it's fun to add beads that have different finishes, but they're the same size or shape. So that these ones, they look a little bit more like icy hearts, like that. 7714. And there are 10 in each of these bags, by the way. And we've got some 8 millimeter pressed glass hearts in crystal. That's the same color as the ones I just showed you. It's the 7715, but they are smaller. And then we've got some more 8 millimeter in jet. These are the black hearts. And I'm sort of going for just some monochrome color, but then we added that AB finish for my check glass hearts that I was getting. Because it's fun to do little heart-shaped things and maybe unexpected colors, you know? It doesn't always have to be red and pink for Valentine's Day. Then we've got some pressed glass star beads. That's these guys here. And these are alabaster with the lila bronze luster, which gives them this purpley finish, a bronzy purple finish. That's 7802 for our number. There aren't that many things to get through, so let's keep going. All right. And then we've got our alien heads. I had to get these guys. I am a huge sci-fi nerd, and so when I saw little aliens on there, I immediately was like, yes, please. I didn't notice until after I had already put in my order recently that they had added some little spaceman on moons to the site either. 7818. So I didn't order those too. That wasn't until after I have no idea if these glow in the dark. It would be really rad if they did, but if they don't, that's still okay because they're still the cutest little alien heads. The hole for these guys are side to side, so you can string them on and they'll just string along on the on your wire side to side like that. Isn't that fun? And it's not near the tip like Brio's. It's like right here through where their eyes go for our little alien guys. And again, 7818 is the number for that one. Super cute. I love them. Then we've got some polar bear beads. I got a couple of different colors of these. So we start with 7824. It is jet with pepper spice. And so you get this kind of dark purple color. And then 7830, which one is that? Oh, wait. Okay, there it is. 7855, that's the next one. This one is just metallic silver. These are 12 millimeters in size, by the way, and the hole goes right through their feet. And they're the tops of their backs on that. That's 7855 for that one. Then we've got 7856. And that's metallic Aztec gold, which I think is one of my favorite gold finishes because it's this really nice kind of, it's a goldeny gold. It's not like a yellow gold. It's not an orangey gold. It's just a really pleasant goldy gold. But yeah, that's 7856. These are all the same shape, but I thought they would be a fun little addition to my thing. That's one of the reasons that they put them out there. But yeah, these were just some little purchases that I was like, oh, I would love to get that before they sell out. And then the last polar bead color bears that I got, 7856, and they are the metallic bronze with fire red, which honestly just makes them look like they are antique copper rather than bronze, if we're gonna be honest. So I've got my little copper bears on that. All right, and then we've got some Hawaiian beads. They're table cut. I really liked the color of these, and so I grabbed one when I saw them cutting on there. I like a nice fat table cut bead. That's 7830, and there were two of them in this. They are the 14 millimeter glass beads. And then we've got some Celtic knot pendants, and I've gotten these before, fine 1952. But I think they're really fun. You could bead along the outside. You could connect multi-point connections to it because there's all these different openings. You could even do some wire wrapping to wrap some beads on the inside if you wanted to, or just use them as they are. And this is antique silver is the color on these ones. And it is a 28 by 24 millimeter. And they usually have listings for the metals on the site. Like if you look up fine 1952, it's not in the packing list though, so it's something to take a look at if you are concerned about metal contents. And we've got some round links. I really wanted some of these round links. They are really cool looking, I think. So we've got a couple of different colors. I've got some in gold, and that's fine 5348. I've got some in antique copper, and that is 5346. And then I got some in silver, and that's 5347. So that's all of these guys. I'm just going to move that out of the way so we can move on to the next guy. Put them away later. And we've got some bail beads. I like some tube bail beads, especially these ones that have the nice wide holes. This is going to be about 6 millimeters around on this part, and so that's going to fit over like a 5 millimeter thing. Quite possibly it will fit on most of the silver silk chains that you've got out there. Maybe not hollow mesh, unless, I mean, you can. You would just have to shove it in there. But this would fit on like some some silver silk chains, which is like a leather cord with wire knitted around it, or ball chain with wire knitted around it, or tubing with wire knitted around it. But the widest thing that they have there is about 5 millimeters, and that's the pipe chain. And this would fit on that. So they're really great, but they also have these nice big holes. So if you do stretch bracelets and you want to add a little dangle to it, you can hide your knot inside of there. And it's really useful for that sort of thing. I actually quite like using this sort of finding for that. This is SPC 1352. And then two more things. We've got find 5345. And these are just these flower drops. So from this end, they just hang down like that, but then you tip them over and they've got the little flower thing. So they're just something that will add a lot of dimension to a design. And again, find 5342, antique silver color. And then this Luna moth pendant. I love this moth pendant. I had to have it. It was important for my mental health reasons. That I got that. It's electroplated, and it is 30 by 26 millimeters. It's laser steel cut, and it's got the moon phases on it too, which is just perfect Luna moth thing. Just how beautiful is that? With all those moon phases, and then the little Luna moth. Let me turn it over, and it's the same on both sides. This could be a great multi-point connector as well. In fact, if you connected one end of a necklace here, one end of necklace here, and then had like a focal stone or something, this would be a really great way to connect two ends of a necklace to that, I think, if you turned it upside down like this. But that's just an idea I was having just now. It's find 5383 if you need to find that on the Bead Box Bargains website. And we'll have links to the Bead Box Bargains website in the description below, as well as links to subscribe to Bargain Bead Box, because it is a really great way to get some of these things when you have that. Now, this is the companion bundle. All right, so this is the point where if you jumped ahead, you would be joining me right now in time for the companion bundle. And we do have a list of what's in it on here. It is not a mystery sort of thing. They listed the contents on the website and all of that, so it is not something that you need to worry about spoilers with. But they do include some information like metal information here. The mountain scene pendants, it says lead free and cadmium free, but then you've got the polar bear charms that actually say that they're nickel free on here as well. So you'll have that information when you are looking at it for most of these. And then also you can look up some of the information on the website as well, like these spacer beads are going to be nickel free. I will do some nickel testing. I have a little solution that I use to test for nickel so that my sister will know which ones are safe for her. She has a nickel allergy. She also got this companion bundle, and since she's visiting at my house, it was delivered to her house while she was here, and so she'll be opening that up when she gets home, and she will have all of our testing results that she'll be able to share with you when she makes something with her companion bundle after she gets home. So look for that this coming week. In the meantime, let's get this sorted, organized, and then make something fun with it. So many fantastic things. We also like to, on our channel, do a little thing where we make like two sets of jewelry or two sets of something with both the companion bundle and the Bargain Bead Box. So we'll be working on that sometime this week as well. I love that we've got goldstone in here. That is one of my favorite man-made gemstones. This is a gemstone heavy companion bundle, by the way, which is not something that needs to be fixed ever at all. And I will just point out, when I do nickel testing to find out what things are acceptable, I always usually test the metal components on these boho beads too. So again, Jenny will have the results of which ones that didn't have the information available. Test yes or no for her. So we've got those. All right, first off, we've got our pendant. It is a 39 by 18 abalone and brass pendant. So that's the back side, and this is the front side. When she was showing the different variations, some of them had like that outside shell portion visible, which I was hoping that mine would just be the shell, so you get that pearlescent stuff, and I'm really happy that that's what showed up in here. It's got a pinch bail, which can be removed if you wanted to use it somehow or some other way. I'm going to go ahead and stick that right in here at the center of my thing. But then we've got some wire-wrapped teardrop charms. Where are they? There they are. And these are 10 by 10.5 millimeters, and they are also abalone. There's two of these. So it looks like they actually have a hole drilled through them, top to bottom. You could, if you wanted to, cut off this wire and just use these as beads. because they do have a hole drilled top to bottom on there. Or you could go ahead and keep them with that wire wrapped around them and use them as drops like that. It all depends on what kind of aesthetic you are looking for. But I love those. Absolutely love those. I love that we got so much abalone with our Northern Lights themed bead box with that. I think that's really great. All right, Blue Galaxy Tiger. Hey, yay! I love this. This is 8mm beads. This is a 14.5-inch strand, and so this might be, because the size and length will determine like whether or not they'll fit in one single section. It might be one that I need to set down the divider with here in order to get to it. These are faceted, so you can see some faceting on there. If I wiggle it, there's a little bit of sparkle, but just look at the depth of this. Now it's dyed and heated. So this is a natural tiger coloring, but the dye really sets off these peacock colors, and I absolutely love that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the strand and get these guys into a section. A lot of times with the companion bundles, you actually get a lot more beads because they are more expensive than the Bargain Bead Box than you do in the Bargain Bead Box. And it looks like I am going to, because it's full right now and I still have more beads, I'm going to need 2 sections open for this. And because it doesn't quite fill up that other section, I'll be able to lay other things in there on top of there that might otherwise not fit in some of the other sections. So sometimes that can be a good thing. All right, so that's our tiger eye. And then we've got some blue goldstone faceted cube beads. These are 5.5 to 6mm in size, and this is a 7-inch strand. Again, it's one of my favorite man-made. I'm just gonna wiggle that so you can get that sparkle, that deep night sky sparkle on there. I love this stuff. I need this guy. All right, then we've got some 8mm crackle agate. Where's that? That's this one. It's also dyed and heated. These are in snowy violet. There's a 7-inch strand of these. They will definitely fit in one section. It's a really beautiful, beautiful purple. I'm saving the back section for some of these larger beads, by the way, which is why I'm not putting that one over there. But also it's like right next to the other 8mm ones, which will be fun. We've also got some 5mm apatite faceted rounds. This is 7.5 inches. And these guys are gorgeous. I love apatite. It's one of my favorite. You know, I have a lot of favorite gemstones, honestly. Let's just be real. We are having a peanut gallery. My sister just said same if you missed it. she's listening to my my unboxing and petting my dogs so they don't complain about me not paying attention to them and instead paying all my attention to the beads, which is what I'm doing right now, let's be honest. All right, then we've got some matte rounds that are also blue goldstone. They are 10mm rounds, and we've got a 7-inch strand of these. And I am curious if we'll get any of the sparkle with it being matte. Gotta admit, I'm not seeing a lot of the sparkle that I usually associate with blue goldstone. So I'm not sure I like them in a matte finish, but you know what? We might still use them anyway. They are such a great dark indigo color without having been dyed, which sometimes ends up with you getting blue color all over yourself when you're wearing them. That sometimes happens with dyed gemstones. It happens. All right. And then we've got some synthetic moonstone beads. That's these guys back here. They are 8 millimeters in size, 7 inches. And synthetic moonstone. And these ones are matte finish too, so they've got a really great little glow in them, but they're like 2 hemispheres that have been stuck together with maybe a color on the inside of it. They're glass and they are beautiful. I love that you get a little bit of flash in that because of the way that they've been put together. Why did they put a second knot in there? That doesn't feel like a fun thing to do to me. There we go. That is fine. And then we've got some glass oval beads in Rainbow Iris. They're 9.5 millimeters in size, and they are 7.5 inches of these beads. I love these because they've got the like table cut side or the faceted side for some shine, and then the outside edges of it are matte finish. So you've got a really dynamic sort of view on this. Now this is strung on my least favorite stringing material. It's this very fine wire that I have poked myself with on more than one occasion. So I'm going to try to be very careful about not poking myself with it while I dispose of the wire and get these guys off of it. There we go. So it can get all unstrung and put away in my organizer. And after I get this organized, I'm going to pull out my Artic Aurora box, and you can see how great it looks together with this. What a fantastic curation they did, putting all of this together. All right, there's one more thing that's strung on that wire, and it's these crystals over there, which is probably going to be the next ones, or maybe not. So glass oval beads, and then the sea opal shimmery glass rose cut round beads. Oh, they're rose cut. Interesting. It looks like a star cut to me, actually. I don't see roses on here. But we've got another fantastic glow. And this is what I consider to be a star cut, where they've got all like the triangles all over. But look how shimmery that is. And again, we're on that wire, which I do not enjoy.
I see that sparkle from all the way over here.
Yeah, Jenny's all the way on the other side of the room, and we've got these guys. Now these are 10 millimeters in size, and this is a 7-inch strand, so I bet I can fit them all in one section. Let's try. If I can't fit all of these in one section, I will pull 2 out and I'll use them in whatever I make today. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to fit all of them in there. Got to cut this one off. And I've got some little bits of wire that I'm going to be very careful about disposing of real quick. So let me pause this so that if there's cursing, my mom doesn't have to hear it. All right, that wire has been taken care of, and I did not get poked, so congratulations to me. We've also got some 4 to 5 millimeter glass cylinder beads in purple green, and it looks like they're off matte finish on these as well. Yes, these are going to be so great. They're going to actually be really fun to put between some larger beads on a strand when you're stringing as spacers, I think. Or to do something, you know, architectural with it, with some wire or something, because they will stack nicely, and then you could place some smaller beads in between there, although we don't have any smaller beads than these in that. You know what I did? I went ahead and congratulated myself on putting all of that wire away, and these are strung on that wire. How
Jinxed yourself.
I did. I celebrated too soon. Premature celebration. So I'm taking these guys off carefully of the wire. And actually I might, because these are such small beads and they're not taking up that much space in here, I may go ahead and roommate situation that apatite over here, and that'll free up this spot here for some larger beads. Because I am running out of space. I only have 4 squares available, and I've got all of these guys that need to find a home in here. So again, I'm being very careful with this, because well, I know most of you don't really mind. We're not doing too much cursing on my channel. Oh, this wire. It's these little bits that'll get you. The little bits that they wrap around the end of the beads. It's not the funnest. Yikes. And I don't want to leave this for next time, Beki, because she will not be pleased with me. So I'm just going to grab Fight Pokey with Pokey. And I've just got a little beading needle over here that I'm just going to try and get this out here with. I'm fighting Stabby with Stabby. There we go. Getting that guy off of there. That was a little fun adventure. Don't hang out under my fingernail. That's not a good place for you to live, friend. All right, that's out of the way. Phew, now we can move on. All right, next we've got some embossed crystal teardrop beads in Mystic Blue. These are 14 by 9 millimeter. There's 2 of them in here. And let's get these on here and start doing some wiggling so you can see the sparkle. So we've got the embossing on one side. I've got one turned over, and that shows up through the crystal on the other side. And they've got a little top drilled hole. So they should be easy to work with. You won't have to do any bezeling. You can if you want, but you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and stick these guys in here with my pendants that I already have situated. And I did tell you that I was going to roommate these 2. So I'm just going to move that over there. That way I can get these cashmere beads in here. They are 15 millimeters in size, and they are midnight blue with all of this sparkle. You've got 2 different versions. You've got this one that just has the bead caps stuck around it, and then this other one that has like some ball chain and rhinestones along the edges and the outsides. I think that they are both gorgeous. I love boho beads like this. So far, so sparkly, absolutely gorgeous. I am so happy with this companion bundle. And again, it is a limited amount. It has sold out already, but some of the items that were in here might be available for sale individually at Bead Box Bargains. So it is worth checking it out if you missed this to see if you can grab some of these. when they put them up for sale. All right, so now we've got some stainless steel mountain links. They're laser cut, and they are 15 by 19 millimeters in size. And there are 4 of these guys. And they just got that mountain, really minimalist mountain range, and then a hole on both sides for linking them along. And I believe these are hypoallergenic because they are the stainless steel that you can do that with, but you can verify that by looking at the listing on the site. Next, we've got some mountain scene pendants. That's these ones here. And these mountain scene pendants are labeled as lead-free and cadmium-free. We don't have a whether they are nickel-free or not for sure. I'm going to turn one of these over so you can see the other side. But they are 20 by 24 millimeters in size, and they are not double-sided, so you do have a right side and a wrong side. On these, you've got stars and a moon and a mountains. Really, really cute. Let's put these guys in here with the mountain links. Usually I'll do like pendants in one and then links in another and stuff like that, but we're going to go thematically on this one. Then we've got some polar bear charms. Now these polar bear charms are lead-free, nickel-free, and cadmium-free. They are 15 by 24 millimeters in size. They are some hefty bears. These are some big old guys. So I don't know that I would do earrings with them unless you did like maybe some smaller beads or something. But they are really cute charms and would be great on a bracelet or as a necklace pendant or something like that. Some hefty boys. That's what we've got. And then we've got some stainless steel starry drop pendant sets. Is that this one? Yes. And this one is also not... Oh, it says stainless steel, so it may be the stainless steel that is hypoallergenic. Again, we can look on the site for that. But you've got a large and 2 small ones, so perfect for doing a set of something. So you've got front and back. They are embossed, so you've got the reverse embossing on the other side. Kind of love these guys. I'm going to put them all together in here. Well, we've got those. And then, where have we got? Brass and cubic zirconia star charms. That's these ones. They're 17 by 15 millimeters in size. There's 2 of these. And this does not give us a more information as far as the metals than just brass. So we will nickel test these together while Jenny's here. So she'll, again, have that information for you. And then we've got another set of brass and cubic zirconia star charms. So we've got these ones that are round with the star inside of it, and these other ones that are the stabby star shape with a little cubic zirconia right in the center of it. All right, let's move these guys over here. 2 more items left. Then we've got some brass rhinestone rondelle spacer beads. That's these guys here. And these ones are nickel-free. They are a 20-piece set. I love when we get plenty of this type of spacer. They have crystal AB on them, like that. I'm going to stick them right over here on that side. And then we've got a platinum-plated brass and cubic zirconia fold-over moon clasp. And on this, it did not say on any of the paperwork whether or not this was also nickel-free, so we'll be testing this as well. But a fold-over clasp works by opening up one side. And I'm not a big fan of fold-over clasps because they are extremely fiddly. And usually I can't open it without popping my fingernails off. But see, it opens like that. Goes through the loop on the other side, and then you snap it closed. It's a very secure clasp. That's that one right there. I'm going to stick it over here with that. And these are all of our guys. Let me pull out the Artic Aurora Bargain Bead Box so you can see what it looks like next to that. If I have it here. Pretty sure I have it here. I just looked at it yesterday. There it is. So this is the Artic Aurora Bargain Bead Box, which I haven't done my pendant yet. For that one, I have some plans. I haven't gotten around to doing a lot of things with it yet. And then this is the companion bundle next to it. You can see them side by side. It is a really great accompaniment to our, and this is that star chain that I was telling you about earlier. So I can take my stuff that I purchased, stick it in there with the rest of it, and then me and Jenny are going to divide up the freebie that I got with that star chain and add that to the rest of it. But let's see about making something with my companion bundle. Right now we'll do a little design on the fly. I'm going to pull out these stainless steel charms because I think I want to do something fun with them and the apatite. And maybe we'll do a couple of these. And yes, no? Yeah, okay. Yep, our sparkly guys are going into play, so we're going to do some apatite. Sparkly guys, use some of the these spacers, and I'm going to make some earrings and a necklace with what I've got here. All right, I'm going to move this off to this side, and if I need to grab anything out of that, I will do that. Let me look at what kind of beading wire I want to use. And some of my other wires, and grab some tools. I've already got my flush cutters out here. What do I want to do? Maybe I don't want to do a maybe we're going to do a beaded chain design, actually. I don't know that I want to do stringing. Jenny, Peanut Gallery, should we string it or do a beaded chain on this? I was going to use these sparkly guys and the apatite. What do you think?
You just got all that bonus chain.
I did get all that bonus chain. Yes.
Do a beaded chain, but using that so that it's
yes.
a little bit simpler, less you have to put together, but
yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. What a great suggestion. Jenny, in case you didn't hear it, just suggested that I use some of this bonus chain that I got and do a little beaded chain with that. So I am going to grab some wire. With the stainless steel, I like using the, there's a platinum color craft wire, or this pewter color craft wire. And it's a really great color match, because sometimes with next to the stainless steel stuff, the silver is just too bright of a silver, too bright of a metal. So since I'm going to be doing some links with this, and I think I am going to use the spacers with my apatite guys and these guys. So we're going to do some chunkier links. I'm going to add several beads onto one link, but I'm going to use these little spacers in there too. So I'm going to need to get some of these guys out of there. I love the rhinestone spacers. Let me grab my tools for this, because I want some round nose pliers, some chain nose pliers, and do I need a second plier for opening and closing things? Probably. So we'll just grab this so that it is handy for that purpose. All right. Now, let's make some links, which means I'm going to need to snip this. And I think one link for each earring is going to be enough. And then let's do 4 links for the necklace, and then we can fill the rest of the space with the star chain. I think that that's going to work best for it. So total of 6 links, which means we'll need a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. I can put the rest back. And so if there's 6 links total for earrings and necklace, then I'll need 12 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. All right, and I can put the rest back. And I am going to be using these spacers, so let's grab 12 of them as well. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's not the full 20 complement. I've still got all of these beads in here that I am not going to be using. And let's make some links. So I'm going to demonstrate one link with y'all, and then we'll go ahead and pause while I make the rest of them and come back for assembling everything and putting it together. So I'm going to straighten out my wire first. Move this tool out of the way. Straighten out my wire like so. You can use a you can use one of these to straighten it too, or I just like to use my fingers, especially with really soft wire. It goes pretty quickly. But I'm going to pop on, I like to work off the spool so that I don't waste too much wire. I'm going to pop up an apatite bead, one of these rhinestone spacers, one of my big sparkly boys, like that. This is going to be super sparkly. Another rhinestone spacer and another apatite bead, like this. And now I'm going to make a wrapped loop link. Should I attach them to lengths of the chain? Or should I use some jump rings to attach them? It's a really good question. I think we're going to go for 3 links at a time. So let me separate out 3 star links, because we'll need, if I have 4 on here, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3 of these, and then we'll fill up the rest of the space around the back of the neck with the rest of the chain. So I think I'm going to assemble this as I go for my links. I'm going to have them hook onto these as we go too. So 1, 2, 3, which means I'm going to need to connect it when I make my initial loop. So I'm going to cut 6 of these. And all I'm doing to cut these is I'm cutting these small loops that are connecting them. I could probably separate them with a using my pliers, like swing them open like jump rings, but I'm not going to be using them, so I don't need to preserve them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. No, I only need 4 of these, not 6 of them, because I'm going to be filling up the rest of the space with the rest of the chain, so a longer amount around the back of the neck. All right. Oh, I may have cut too much. That's okay, because I have plenty of this star chain. I don't know if you noticed. I got a few of these guys. All right, so let's make a wrapped loop over here. Before I wrap it, I'm going to attach it to one of these lengths of chain. So about 2 inches down from the end and about 1/3 of the way down my round nose pliers. I'm going to hold the wire and bend it back away from me. And then I'm going to push this wire up around towards me. And once it's facing down the rest of the way, I'm going to swing this open, rotate those pliers, and get myself a nice centered loop. And then we're going to just slide the end of this chain on. Actually, no, we're going to use some, I've just decided I'm going to use some jump rings, and that's just because of the way that these are going to be oriented. I'm going to use jump rings. I've just decided. So I'm not going to join as I go. I'm going to make these links, and then we'll join them together after I've made the links. And that's just because I don't want my star chain sitting sideways on my neck and digging into me. That won't be very comfortable. So now that I've wrapped that around and tidied up my wraps just a little bit, I can push my beads up here and then measure about 2.5 fingers width down from the bottom of that. It's going to tell me how much more wire I need for my second loop. Right. So now that I've got my second loop, I'm just going to turn this so that when I bend this over, bring it around, rotate it, and keep going, it is going to make a little loop that is parallel to this one. If it doesn't go parallel, you can always straighten it up after you've gotten that done. I'm just tucking the end of that in, making sure this sits straight. You can do that by grabbing both loops and then making sure that your pliers are facing the same direction or running in the same way instead of making a cross. There are some situations where you want it to be perpendicular. In fact, I will probably want it to be perpendicular when I attach my link to the charm here. All right, so I'm going to make 4 more of these, and then we'll do just a little bit different, and I'll show you when we get to the earrings. I'll do something a little bit different for the earrings. Like I said, we're going to have it be perpendicular, but there's also a second step at the end when I do my second loop. I'm going to be attaching it directly to this. So I will show you that. Actually, let me show you that now, because that way you won't have to wait for that part. So for the earrings, I'm going to put this guy on here, and I'm using 20 gauge wire, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that. So I'm just going to demonstrate the earring for you now, and that way you don't have to skip around to the end to find out how I do it. I'm going to do my beginning loop the same way, bend it back, come up around, rotate, and then wrap the loop right away. Put these beads up here. Where's that first appetite bead gone? That's the risk you run when you're working from the spools, that your beads are going to wrap themselves around your spool. Okay, so we've got our extra wire here. And see, I had turned it to the side in order to make my parallel loop. So I'm going to turn it so that the loop is facing me this time. And I'm going to make my perpendicular loop. But before I wrap it, we're going to slide this right on here onto this loop. And something else that might be really cool to do with these findings is they've got this big open area here. It would be really cool to maybe dangle a smaller bead or something down there. I'm not doing that this time because I am just doing a real quick make, but that's an idea that you are free to use for your make if you would like. And I need to get some pliers in there because my finger isn't fitting very well in that little spot. There we go. So now, like I said, perpendicular, if we make sure that my pliers make a cross rather than a straight line, and that means that this loop up here at the top will be facing the correct direction. Hold on, let me finish wrapping that. It is not wrapped as far as I want it to go. For putting an ear wire through. So, like that. And we'll stick an ear wire in here after I finish putting together the necklace, and when we make our second earring, then you'll be able to see that. That is basically going to be the earring. So I will be right back with some completed links and we will assemble this together. Okay, so I made all of my links. I went ahead and made my second earring as well. I'll just show you in a minute how I attach my ear wire. We'll get to that. I used my little sections of 3 links and a couple of links, the links that I made, and I did 1/2 of the necklace already. Whatever I do on 1/2, I'm going to do on the other, so I'm showing you the second half so that we can just do the same thing basically to both sides, and then we'll attach these halves of our necklace to the earring. And I went and looked for a good clasp to do with this, and I've got just a little magnetic clasp with some sparkly guys on the outside of it. That will be a good little clasp for us to have on that. It's not a super hold, but it does have the little bits that catch onto each other. So we're going to use that for a clasp. And again, this is all finished. I've got my 2 lengths of 3, and then for the back end, for the right length, I've got a length of 5 stars. So let me cut that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for that star chain. And to connect these, I've grabbed some very small, like these are 3x4 oval jump rings. And oval jump rings have a split on the long side of the oval. And because of the way oval jump rings sit, the non-closed sides, these edges, that's where most of the work is going to be on to keep them together. So they're a little more secure than round jump rings, but also they're going to be very unobtrusive in this design. Since we've already got some oval jump rings in between the star lengths, I chose some small oval jump rings that are almost the same size to connect to these links. So that's what I am doing here. And I'm going to take the jump ring, I've actually got a pile here, but hold it in one of my pliers, grab the other set of pliers to hold that end steady, twist it open, and then I can put on a link and these star links. Now I had made sure that these were all facing the same direction when I did this one, so let's do this so that it's facing the same direction for that one, so that because they've got 2 points on one side and 1 point on the other side. So I'm just going to make sure that the next section that I attach will be facing that way. after I get these put back together. So let's, also one side is flat and the other side is curved, so I'm just turning it the correct way so that when I attach them, they are going to all be facing the same way on my little star bits. But yeah, it's just a little thing like that that you just want to pay attention to when you are connecting this star chain. All right, split that open. Make sure that we are facing the right way. Okay. Perfect. This is going to be like almost a minimalist kind of a style where you've got just a couple of links. Most of the chain is doing the work and these other findings, but I think it's going to be pretty effective. I mean, I could go bead heavy and add a bunch of other metals as well, or something where I could keep it sort of minimalist, which is what I'm doing with this one. Because sometimes you just have like some really pretty beads and they need to be the star. The star. No pun, no pun.
You're so funny.
I know. It's a curse. My puntastic punniness, yeah.
It's hereditary.
It is, honestly. My favorite thing has always been like just dumb jokes. I love dumb jokes. They're the best jokes. All right. So now I've got both of these lengths. I'm going to be using more of these oval jump rings to attach these lengths of chain to my hold on. I think I want a single point towards my neck and the multiple points away from my neck. There we go. Because again, this is not double-sided, so I gotta decide which is the front and the back at this point for these things. I'm gonna need a couple for the clasp and a couple of these for here, and I'm gonna just put the rest of these away because they are teeny tiny and they are gonna get lost and end up all over the place. Just know it. Again, I chose these little oval jump rings to match the jump rings that are already in between each of these star links. Oop. Okay. Star link. We have this guy. It is entirely, oh yes, it will fit. I was gonna say it's entirely possible that these won't fit on this, that it's too big, but it is not too big and they do fit right on there. Good, good, good. All right. And I already told you I got 5. Okay, yes, I did mention that. All right, let's get the next one on here. Yeah, tiny jump rings are a little more fiddly. Especially when you aren't used to having nails as long as this. I loved these little, like, sort of Aurora Starry Night kind of nails, and they came a little long, and usually I'll cut them down and have shorter nails, but I really loved them, so I was like, let's see how long I can stand having nails this long. I will probably be cutting them short later. Just FYI, because they have been sort of getting in the way of doing things, like holding this. They were getting in the way when I was trying to tie things. When I was on a live, I was trying to tie a tiny tassel, and my nails kept getting in the way, and it was really frustrating. Ooh, let's add this to the thing. I almost closed this up without that being part of it. So just one of those things. I usually go for short nails when I put on my press-ons. There we go. So now we've got these guys like that. I love it already. Let's add a clasp. And I'm going to want to make sure that we are facing the right way so that my sparkly little clasp is facing that way out. It is a magnetic clasp, so it's going to stick to some of this stuff, but that's okay. Ooh, you know what? The magnetic clasp does not have a loop on this end. That is not going to work for me. Lobster clasp. Let's grab that. I'm gonna solution to a problem. There is that fold over clasp, but I don't know if you guys saw me struggling with the fold over clasp. Probably not gonna end up using it just because they're not my favorite type of clasp. Here we go. Here we go. This will do us. This will make sure that this can actually be worn. And I always test my lobster clasps before I attach them. I like to put the fiddly end on what will be the right-hand side because I am right-handed, and then the less fiddly end of the clasp on the left-hand side. So the lobster goes on the right, and the ring, that's just a 6mm jump ring, goes on the left. All right, and in just a minute, we'll be ready to wrap this up. I would encourage you, if you are not a subscriber to Bargain Bead Box, to check out the links in the description below where we've got a coupon code you can use to get a couple dollars off your first month subscription. And it is one of the best value for money bead boxes out there, and they'll usually do some really fun things like put together these companion bundles that you purchase separately but that go with the Bargain Bead Box so nicely. But you also get that 30% off coupon that you can use multiple times. It's a multi-use coupon to just get a bigger discount on already discounted beads and findings and things at Bargain Bead Box, which has turned into one of my very favorite places to get beads from. And let me just show you real quick how I'm attaching the ear wire. You're just going to open the loop on your ear wire. Most ear wires have a loop. Put it through that loop that I made sure was facing forward when I did that. That's where I had that perpendicular loop. And then close it up, and now I've got my earring to go with my necklace, with my starry chain that came as my extra for my order, and my companion bundle from Bead Box Bargains. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And until next time, my friends, happy beading.